What if I told you that the most terrifying thing in the universe is also the most peaceful? Right now, at this exact moment, you're being pulled toward a mysterious force that scientists still can't fully explain. It's called dark matter, and it makes up 85% of all the matter in the universe. We can't see it, we can't touch it, but it's everywhere around you, holding galaxies together like an invisible cosmic gluty wildpot. Astronomers like Vera Rubin discovered this back in 1933 when she noticed galaxies were rotating in ways that defied Newton's laws of motion. There had to be more mass than we could see. For decades, nobody believed her. Now we know she was right all along. This invisible universe, this cosmic mystery, is the gateway to understanding why space is actually the most relaxing thing to think about before sleep. And here's the thing, by the end of this journey with me, you'll understand why contemplating the infinite darkness of space doesn't feel scary. It feels like coming home. Before we go deeper, I want to know where you're watching from right now. Drop your country and the time of day in the comments below. Are you watching this at 2 a.m., unable to sleep? Are you in Australia watching the sunrise? Are you in Europe during a quiet afternoon? Primera why initi to know. And please, if this resonates with you, hit that subscribe button. I'm creating content specifically designed to expand your mind while helping you relax. There's a bell icon to tap it so you don't miss the next mystery we're exploring together. This isn't just another space channel. This is your invitation to understand the universe in a way that makes you feel smaller. Yes, but also connected to something profound. So, subscribe, comment your location, and let's journey into the cosmos together. Now, before we understand why space is relaxing, we need to understand what we're actually relaxed about. Think of it like this. Your brain is a prediction machine. When your brain doesn't have to work hard predicting what comes next, it relaxes. This is why repetitive sounds, rain, waves, white noise help you sleep. Your brain says, okay, I know what's coming, and it downshifts into a lower gear. Space does something similar, but on a much deeper level. When you contemplate the vastness of space, something counterintuitive happens. Your brain stops worrying about the small stuff. That meeting tomorrow, irrelevant on a cosmic scale. The argument you had yesterday doesn't matter when you're thinking about stars that have been burning for billions of years. The first foundational concept you need to understand is scale. And I mean real scale, not the kind you think you understand. Most people think they grasp how big space is. They don't. Not really. Let me give you the first mind-blown moment. The distance from Earth to the Sun is 93 million miles. We call this one astronomical unit, or O. Now, Pluto is about 39 AS away from the Sun. Sounds far right, but here's what will blow your mind. The nearest star system to us, Proxima Centauri, is 25 trillion miles away. That's 268,000 times farther than Pluto. And Proxima Centauri isn't even special. It's one of the closest stars. There are billions of star systems just like it, scattered throughout a galaxy that is so incomprehensibly large that light itself takes 100,000 years to cross it. We're talking about a distance so vast that if you tried to count every star in our galaxy at one number per second, it would take you 300 billion seconds. That's over 9,000 years of continuous counting. Here's where it gets relaxing though. When you truly grasp this scale, something shifts in your consciousness. The ancient philosophers called this the overview effect, even though they never left Earth. They just thought about it hard enough. When you realize you're on a tiny planet, orbiting an ordinary star in an ordinary galaxy, among hundreds of billions of other galaxies, suddenly, your problems don't disappear, but they transform. They become manageable. They become part of a pattern. Think of it like zooming out on Google Maps. When you're focused on a single street, every pothole matters. But zoom out to see the whole planet, and individual roads become less stressful to navigate. You see the bigger picture. That's what contemplating cosmic scale does to your mind. It's like a free meditation session, and all you have to do is think about how insignificant you are. The second foundational concept is time, and this one is even more mind-bending than space. Most people think of time as a constant stream, but when you start learning about cosmic timescales, time becomes something almost poetic. considertis ante universis 13.8 billion years old. That's 13,800,000,000 years. Our solar system, only 4.6 billion years old. Life on Earth, only 3.8 billion years old. Humans, a mere 300,000 years. Civilization, 10,000 years. The Internet, 30 years. Your lifetime, if you're lucky, 80 years. Now here's the mind-blown moment. Every single human that has ever lived, from the beginning of our species to right now, has existed in just the last 0.002% of Earth's history. We showed up for the last blink of the eye, and we think our problems are permanent. They're not. On a cosmic time scale, your entire life, and the lives of everyone you'll ever meet, is less than a flash. It's a firefly's moment on a summer evening. And that's oddly comforting, isn't it? This is why thinking about space before bed is so effective. Your brain doesn't have to solve the timescale problem. It just has to accept it. And once you accept that time as this vast, cosmic river that flows regardless of your anxieties, you can let those anxieties go. Think of it like being a drop of water in the ocean. You don't worry about being just one drop, because you understand you're part of something so much larger. The mathematician and physicist Freeman Dyson once said that the universe is so vast and so old that almost anything is possible within it. We could contemplate that for lifetimes. But here's the question that will keep you suspended in wonder as you drift to sleep. If almost anything is possible in a universe this large and this old, what does that mean for the mysteries we haven't solved yet? Let's talk about the first major space mystery, the Great Silence. This is also called the Fermi paradox, named after physicist Enrico Fermi, who asked in 1950 a simple but devastating question: where is everybody? Think about it. There are an estimated 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. Each galaxy contains hundreds of billions of stars. Many of those stars have planets. The probability suggests that intelligent life should be common, yet we see no evidence of it. No radio signals, no alien broadcasts, no visitors. Nothing but silence. The silence is so profound that it keeps many scientists up at night. Here's the mind-blown moment. Either intelligent life is incredibly rare, which makes us special and important, or intelligent life is common. But they're all destroying themselves before they develop the technology to communicate across the stars. Neither option is comforting, yet both are deeply fascinating to contemplate. The Great Silence is one of the most relaxing mysteries to think about before bed because it forces you to sit with an unanswerable question. And when you sit with an unanswerable question long enough, your brain stops trying to solve it and just accepts the mystery. This is the state of mind you want before sleep. Not stress, not problem solving, just acceptance of the unknown. Scientists like Carl Sagan spent entire careers thinking about this paradox. He proposed something called the Drake equation, which tries to estimate the number of communicative civilizations in our galaxy. The equation multiplies together factors like the rate of star formation, the fraction of stars with planets, and the fraction of planets where intelligent life develops. When you plug in even conservative numbers, you get hundreds of thousands of potential civilizations. Yet we detect 0. That discrepancy, that gap between what we expect and what we observe, what makes this mystery so captivating. It's a gap that invites contemplation. It's a gap that says, we don't know, and maybe that's okay. Before we move to the next mystery, let me ask you something. Are you starting to feel the shift? That sense of your mind expanding beyond your daily concerns. That's the beginning of what we're after. In the comments, I want you to tell me, what's one thing that's been stressing you out lately? I'm not going to respond to all of them. That would be impossible, but I read them. And I want you to think about how that stress looks from 13.8 billion light years away. Actually, I want you to really think about that as we continue. Subscribe if you haven't already, because the next mystery gets even deeper. The second major space mystery we're exploring is the cosmic microwave background radiation and what it's trying to tell us. In 1964, 2 radio astronomers named Arno Penzias and Robert Woodrow Wilson were working at Bell Labs in New Jersey. They were trying to eliminate all the background noise from their antenna. But no matter what they did, there was this persistent hiss, this static. They thought it was pigeon droppings. At first, seriously, they actually found pigeon poop in their antenna and cleaned it out. But the hiss remained. What they had accidentally discovered was the echo of the Big Bang itself. The universe, 13.8 billion years ago, was infinitely dense and infinitely hot. Then, in the first fraction of a second, it expanded. And that expansion is still going on. The radiation from that first moment has been traveling through space ever since, cooling down as it goes. What we detect today is the faint afterglow of creation itself. This is the mind-blown moment. The light hitting your radio telescope right now traveled for 13.8 billion years to reach you. You are literally touching the edge of time itself. What makes this mystery so relaxing to contemplate is that it proves the universe has a history. It wasn't always here, infinite and eternal. It had a beginning, and if it had a beginning, that beginning wasn't arbitrary. It was explosive. It was creative. It was the moment when all of reality started to unfold. When you think about this before bed, your brain does something interesting. It stops trying to solve immediate problems and starts thinking in terms of deep time. You become aware that you're not just in space, but in time. You're a moment in an unfolding story that started 13.8 billion years ago, and that story continues through you. Every atom in your body was forged in the heart of a star and scattered when that star exploded. You're made of stardust. Literally, the iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, the oxygen you're breathing right now. All of it came from ancient stars. You are the universe becoming conscious of itself. Now, here's the twist that makes this even more profound. The radiation we detect today, this cosmic microwave background, is almost perfectly uniform. Almost, if it were perfectly uniform, we wouldn't exist. The universe would have remained a featureless soup of hydrogen and helium forever. But there are tiny variations in the temperature of this radiation. These variations are only 1 part in 100,000. Tiny. Almost invisible. Yet these microscopic variations in the early universe gave rise to the gravity wells that became galaxies. Those galaxies formed stars. Those stars created elements. Those elements created planets. Those planets created life. Those tiny variations, smaller than you can imagine, created everything. You exist because of a wrinkle in the fabric of the early universe. Let that sink in as you're lying in bed. Your existence, which feels so random and accidental, was actually encoded in the fundamental structure of reality from the first moment of time itself. The third major space mystery is black holes, and this one is where things get truly. In 1916, Albert Einstein published his equations for general relativity. These equations describe gravity not as a force, but as the curvature of spacetime itself. Think of it like this. Spacetime is like a rubber sheet. Objects with mass create dips in this sheet, and other objects roll toward these dips. That's what we experience as gravity. But here's the wild part. If you compress enough mass into a small enough space, you create a dip so deep that nothing can escape from it. Not even light. In 1967, physicist John Wheeler coined the term black hole for these cosmic sinks. Before that, scientists called them frozen stars. Black holes are where gravity wins so completely that it creates a boundary-an event, horizon beyond, which the laws of physics as we know them break down entirely. Here's what will absolutely blow your mind. Black holes aren't just rare cosmic accidents. We've discovered that most large galaxies have black holes at their centers. Our own Milky Way galaxy has one called Sagittarius A*. It's 4 million times the mass of our Sun, and it's contained in an area smaller than our solar system. It's not destroying our galaxy, it's holding it together. Every galaxy we look at seems to have a central black hole. This suggests that black holes aren't cosmic errors. They're cosmic architects. They're the engines that build and shape galaxies themselves. And this realization transforms how we think about black holes. They stop being scary things to avoid and start being magnificent things that made us possible. Without the black hole at the center of our galaxy, our solar system might never have formed. Now, here's the relaxing part. When you think about black holes, you're thinking about a place where time and space lose their usual meanings. According to Einstein's equations, if you crossed the event horizon of a black hole, time itself would slow down relative to the outside universe. To an outside observer, you would appear to freeze at the event horizon, taking infinite time to cross it. But to you, you'd cross it in finite time. Your experience of time would be completely different from the universe's experience of time. This breaks your brain in the best way. It forces you to accept that time and space aren't absolute. They're relative. They depend on perspective, and if time and space aren't absolute, then your linear experience of time, past, present, future is just one perspective among many. That's oddly liberating. Think of it like this. You think of your life as a line moving forward from past to future. But from the perspective of the universe, your entire life, your childhood, your old age, your death might, all exist simultaneously in space-time. You're not moving through time. Time is just a direction in which complexity increases in your region of the universe. This mind-blown perspective makes your anxieties about the future seem less real. As you're falling asleep, thinking about black holes is like thinking about the ultimate rest. A black hole is a place where everything stops moving relative to anything else. It's the final stillness, the heat death of everything. And contemplating that final stillness, paradoxically, helps you relax into your own stillness as you drift off to sleep. The fourth major space mystery is the expansion of the universe itself, and this one will fundamentally change how you think about reality. In 1929, Edwin Hubble made an observation that shocked the scientific world. He looked at distant galaxies and noticed that they were all moving away from us. And not just moving away, the farther they were, the faster they were moving away. This didn't mean we were at the center of the universe, being rejected. It meant the entire fabric of space-time itself was expanding. Every point in the universe is moving away from every other point. The universe isn't expanding into anything. Space itself is expanding. Space-time is the container of reality, and it's getting bigger. Here's the mind-blown moment. About 25 years ago, in 1998, astronomers made an even more shocking discovery. The expansion of the universe is accelerating. It's not just expanding, it's expanding faster and faster. Something is pushing against gravity on a cosmic scale, forcing the universe apart. We call this force dark energy, and it makes up 68% of the universe. We have no idea what it is. It's not made of particles. It doesn't interact with electromagnetic radiation. It's just this property of space itself that causes expansion. The universe is being driven apart by something we don't understand at all. And the more we expand, the more dark energy dominates, and the faster we accelerate. Eventually, in trillions of years, galaxies outside our local group will be moving away from us so fast that light from them won't be able to reach us. The universe will become dark and cold and isolated. Heat, death, the end of everything. Now, here's why this is strangely relaxing to contemplate. The expansion of the universe means you don't have to worry about the future of humanity as much. We don't control the universe's fate. It's predetermined by the laws of thermodynamics and the amount of dark energy in the cosmos. Your responsibility shrinks to what you can actually control. It frees you from cosmic anxiety because the cosmic fate isn't in your hands. Think of it like this. You're in a car that's moving forward on a highway. The direction and speed of the car aren't up to you. Your only choice is what you do while you're in the car. Who you talk to, what you think about. Whether you enjoy the view, that's your freedom. The universe's expansion is the car moving forward. You can't stop it or change it, so you might as well relax and enjoy the ride. Let me pause here and ask you, are you feeling the shift in perspective? That sense of your problems becoming smaller, not because they don't matter, but because they matter differently. That's the sweet spot we're aiming for. Drop another comment if you're feeling this, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I'm creating this entire series to help you access this state of mind. This is about rewiring how you relate to existence itself. The fifth major space mystery is the moon, and specifically, how it came to be. For most of human history, we thought the moon was just there. It orbited UAS. It controlled the tides, but we didn't know where it came from. Scientists proposed various theories. Maybe the moon was captured from elsewhere in the solar system. Maybe it formed alongside Earth. But these theories had problems. Then, in 1975, at a conference at the Lunar Science Institute, scientists proposed a radical new idea: the giant impact hypothesis. According to this theory, about 4.5 billion years ago, a Mars-sized object collided with the early Earth at a low angle. This impact was so catastrophic that it created a giant debris disk around Earth. Within weeks, this debris coalesced into our moon. In other words, the moon is the child of a collision. We got our moon because of a cosmic accident. Here's the mind-blown moment. If that impact had been slightly different, if that Mars-sized object had hit at a slightly different angle or slightly different speed, we wouldn't have our moon. Without our moon's stabilizing gravitational influence, Earth's axis would wobble chaotically. Our climate would be unstable and inhospitable. Life might never have emerged. You exist because a planetary collision happened billions of years ago in just the right way. What makes this mystery relaxing is that it puts your life in a chain of causation stretching back to the beginning of time. You didn't cause yourself to exist. A trillion unlikely events caused you to exist. Your responsibility for your own existence is zero. That's liberating. You're here by accident. A beautiful, improbable accident. And that means you can let go of needing to justify your existence. Think of it like this. When you see a snowflake, it's beautiful precisely because it's unique, and will never form again in exactly the same way. You're not a snowflake, you're far more complex. But the principle is the same. Your existence is beautiful precisely because it emerged from a chain of improbable events. You're a pattern that emerged from chaos, and patterns have value just by being patterns. The moon also teaches us something profound about perspective. The moon is roughly 240,000 miles away from Earth. It takes light about 1 second to travel from the moon to your eyes. It's our closest celestial neighbor. Yet even at this close distance, it's completely alien. It has no atmosphere. The surface temperature swings from 260 degrees Fahrenheit in sunlight to minus 280 degrees in darkness. There's no life there, no sound, no wind, no weather. It's dead. It's alien, and you can see it with your bare eyes from your backyard. The moon is a window into what other worlds are actually like. Most places in the universe are dead. Most places are frozen, or burning, or both. Earth is the anomaly. Earth, with its warm oceans and blue skies and living things, is the weird one. And you're on Earth. You won the cosmic lottery just by being born here. The sixth major space mystery is dark matter. We briefly mentioned it at the beginning, but now we need to understand what it really means. When Vera Rubin observed galaxies rotating in 1933, she saw something impossible. Galaxies were spinning so fast that they should have flown apart. The outer edges of galaxies were moving at speeds that suggested far more mass than we could see with our telescopes. There had to be invisible matter providing extra gravity. Dark matter. For decades, nobody believed her. She was a woman in a male-dominated field, and she was claiming something that nobody else could detect. But she was right. We now know that dark matter makes up 85% of all matter in the universe. Regular matter stars, planets, atoms, only makes up 15%. We are the minority. We are the unusual thing. Dark matter is the normal thing, and we have no idea what it is. It's not atoms. It's not light. It doesn't interact with anything except through gravity. It's the most abundant thing in the universe, and we can't see it, touch it, or directly detect it. Here's what will blow your mind. Because dark matter makes up so much of the universe's mass, gravity is mostly shaped by invisible matter. The visible universe, the stars and galaxies and planets we can see, is like the foam on the ocean, spectacular and visible, but not the main structure. The main structure is the dark matter. It's the architecture of the universe. The visible universe is just the decoration. You, your planet, your star, your galaxy are all embedded in dark matter. You're living in a dark matter galaxy. You've never seen the dominant structure of reality, and that's oddly humbling. Think of it like this. Imagine you're living in a house, but 85% of the house is invisible. You can see the furniture and the walls, but the foundation and framing that holds everything up are completely invisible. That's your situation in the universe. You're living in a house made mostly of something you can't perceive, and that something is holding you up. Literally, right now. The gravity from dark matter is what keeps our galaxy from flying apart. Without dark matter, you wouldn't exist. Now, here's the mind-blown moment that will haunt you in the best way. We don't know what dark matter is. It could be exotic particles we've never discovered. It could be primordial black holes. It could be something that exists outside our normal physics. We've built the most sensitive detectors in the world, buried them underground to shield them from cosmic rays, cooled them to near absolute zero, and we still can't directly detect dark matter. It's all around you. You're made of atoms, and atoms are mostly made of empty space. Through that empty space, dark matter is flowing. Constantly. Billions of particles of dark matter are passing through your body every second. Right now. As you're reading this, most of them pass right through you without interacting at all. Your body is transparent to dark matter. It's a humbling thought. You're not even solid to most of the universe. Most of the universe passes right through you unimpeded. This is why dark matter is one of the most relaxing mysteries to contemplate before sleep. It's a reminder that you're not as separate from the universe as you think. You're not a distinct thing inside the universe. You're part of a seamless whole. You're an arrangement of atoms that happens to be conscious. The dark matter flows through you. The light from distant stars falls on your skin. The gravitational influence of the moon pulls on the water in your body. You're not isolated in space. You're fundamentally connected to everything. And once you feel that connection, you can relax. You're held up by the universe itself. You can let go. The seventh major space mystery is the Kuiper Belt and the URT cloud, and this one teaches us about the true scale of our own solar system. Most people think our solar system is just the 8 planets, but our solar system is far, far larger than that. Beyond Neptune's orbit, there's a region called the Kuiper Belt. This is a ring of icy Bodius dwarf planets, asteroids, comets orbiting the Sun in the frigid darkness. Pluto is just the largest known object in this belt. The Kuiper Belt extends from about 30 astronomical units to 55 astronomical units from the Sun. That's 2.8 billion to 5.2 billion miles from the Sun. And it's just the beginning. Beyond the Kuiper Belt, there's something even larger. The Oort cloud. This is a theoretical sphere of icy objects that surrounds our entire solar system. It extends from about 2,000 astronomical units to 100,000 astronomical units from the Sun. Some estimates put it even larger. The Oort cloud is so large that it would take our fastest spacecraft, the Parker Solar Probe, 100 million years to reach the outer edge of it. Let that sink in. The Oort cloud is part of our solar system, yet it would take 100 million years to traverse it, and we live in the middle of it. Here's the mind-blown moment. Every long-period comet that enters the inner solar system comes from the Oort cloud. Periodically, a star passes close to our solar system, close in cosmic terms, which still means light years away. The gravity from that passing star disturbs objects in the Oort cloud, and they fall toward the Sun. That's why we see they're not visitors from other star systems. They're exiles from our own solar system, falling in from the outer darkness. Some of them pass through the inner solar system and then fall back out again. Some of them might collide with planets. In fact, many scientists now believe that a comet impact may have delivered much of Earth's water. The oceans you drink from, the seas that cover 70% of our planet, might have come from the Oort cloud. The water in your body might have been frozen in an icy object for billions of years before falling to Earth. The Oort cloud is one of the most relaxing concepts to contemplate, because it stretches your sense of scale even further. You thought the Kuiper Belt was far. You thought Pluto was far. But those are just the outskirts of your neighborhood. The real outer wall of your solar system is hundreds of times farther, and that outer wall is still just a tiny speck in the context of the galaxy. The nearest star is 25 trillion miles away. The Oort cloud, at its farthest extent, is maybe 10 billion miles from the Sun. The nearest star is 2,500 times farther than the edge of the Oort cloud. Let that perspective sink in. Your solar system, this vast region that would take 100 million years to cross, is just a tiny oasis in the darkness. And beyond that darkness, other star systems are scattered. Each one has its own Oort cloud. Each one is an island in the cosmic ocean. And these islands are separated by distances so vast that we can't really grasp them. We can only accept them. We can only surrender to them and let our minds relax into the incomprehensible scale. As you contemplate the Oort cloud before sleep, you might think about your own life as a kind of cloud. Your memories, your experiences, your relationships there, all orbiting around a central core, which is your consciousness. They extend outward in all directions. Some are close, vivid, recent. Some are distant, faint, old. But they're all part of you. They're all orbiting your center. And just as the Oort cloud takes billions of years to fully reveal itself, your life will take all your years to fully express itself. You're not meant to see it all at once. You're meant to experience it gradually, piece by piece. That's the mercy of consciousness. That's the gift of time. We're now at 90 minutes into this journey, and I want to check in with you. How are you feeling? Are you starting to drift into that state of mind we're aiming for? That state where your worries feel smaller, not because they're not valid, but because they're being held in a larger context. The human brain is capable of holding contradictions. You can be worried about something and also understand that worry is small on a cosmic scale. Both can be true at once. In the comments, I want you to share, what's one cosmic thought that's resonating with you the most so far? Is it the great silence? The expansion of the universe? The idea that dark matter is flowing through you right now? Tell me what's catching your mind. And please, if you're watching this with someone else, encourage them to subscribe to. This content is designed for a community of cosmic thinkers. We're all in this together. The eighth major space mystery is the possibility of parallel universes. This one will absolutely reframe everything you think you know about reality. For most of the 20th century, physicists assumed there was just one universe, ours. But in the 1970s, physicists started proposing something radical. What if there are multiple universes? Not just one cosmos, but many. The theoretical physicist Alan Guth proposed something called cosmic inflation in 1980. He theorized that in the first fraction of a second after the Big Bang, the universe underwent exponential expansion. This explains why the universe looks so uniform. But here's the wild part. Guth's equations suggested that once inflation starts, it might not stop everywhere at the same time. In some regions, it might stop and create a universe like ours. In other regions, it might continue, creating bubbles of new universes. Each universe would have slightly different physical constants. Each universe would be its own cosmos. And, critically, each universe would be unreachable from all the others. They'd be separated by infinite distances or folded into dimensions we can't perceive. Here's what will blow your mind. If this many worlds theory is correct, then at this exact moment, there are infinite universes containing infinite versions of you. Right now, in another universe, another version of you is reading these exact words. Another version is making a different choice. Another version has already fallen asleep. Another version is living a completely different life in a universe with different physics. The quantum physicist Hugh Everett proposed something similar in 1957. He suggested that every quantum event creates a branch in reality. Every time a particle could go left or right, reality splits. Both possibilities happen, both are real. You exist in just one branch, but infinite other yous exist in infinite other branches. Every decision you didn't make, another version of you made it. Every disaster you avoided, another version of you didn't. This isn't religion. This isn't philosophy. This is a serious interpretation of quantum mechanics proposed by serious physicists. Now, here's the truly mind-blown moment. If parallel universes exist, then your life isn't unique. Infinite versions of your life are happening simultaneously. That might sound scary, but think about it differently. It's liberating. Any choice you make, infinite other yous are making every other possible choice. So, there's no right choice. There's just your choice, and that choice creates one branch in an infinite tree of branches. You can't fail because you're always succeeding in some branch and failing in others. All possibilities are actualized. This is the ultimate perspective shift. You're not alone in the universe. You're surrounded by infinite versions of yourself, experiencing all possible outcomes. And somehow, that's comforting. Think of it like this. You're at a crossroads in life, left or right. The choice matters. And it doesn't matter. It matters because it determines which version of you actualizes which life. It doesn't matter because both versions are equally real. You can stop agonizing over the choice and just choose, because no matter which way you choose, every other way is also happening somewhere. You're covered either way. This parallel universe perspective is one of the most relaxing things to contemplate before sleep, because it dissolves the illusion of unique responsibility. You're not the only one who has to choose. Infinite versions of you are choosing at infinite moments. You are part of a distributed consciousness spread across infinite universes. And that's oddly liberating. It means you're never truly alone. It means your choice, while real to you, is also just one of infinite choices. You can let go of the burden of being the sole creator of your fate. The universe is creating your fate. You're just experiencing it from one perspective. The ninth major space mystery is the strange behavior of time near massive objects. We've touched on black holes. But the broader principle is even more fascinating. Einstein showed that gravity isn't a force. It's the curvature of space. Massive objects curve spacetime around them. And when spacetime is curved, time itself moves differently. Specifically, time moves slower near massive objects. This isn't theoretical. We've measured it. In 1971, 2 atomic clocks were synchronized. One was kept on Earth. One was flown in an airplane around the world. When the airplane returned, the 2 clocks showed different times. The clock that flew was moving faster through the sky, so it experienced less gravitational curvature. So time moved faster for it. The difference was tiny, about 273 nanoseconds, but measurable. Time actually moved differently for the 2 clocks based on their positions in Earth's gravitational field. Here's what will blow your mind. Time is moving slower for your feet than for your head right now. Your feet are closer to Earth's center, so they experience stronger gravity, so time moves slightly slower for them. The difference is impossibly small. We're talking nanoseconds over a lifetime. But it's real. Your head is literally aging faster than your feet. And as you move through the universe, time around you is constantly changing based on gravitational fields. Near the sun, time moves slower. In the void of space, far from all massive objects, time moves faster. There's no absolute time. There's no universal now. Time is relative. Different observers in different places experience time differently, and there's no way to reconcile their measurements. Both are correct in their own frames of reference. The universe doesn't have a universal clock. It has a billion local clocks, all ticking at different rates, all correct within their own reference frame. This is the most mind-blown moment about time. You're not moving through time. You're moving through your path through space-time has a certain duration, but duration isn't absolute. It depends on your position and motion. From one perspective, you live for 80 years. From another perspective, you live for 100 years. From another, you live for 60 years. All perspectives are equally valid. There's no true duration to your life. Your life is a path through space-time, and different observers will measure different lengths for that path. You exist as a 4-dimensional shape in space-time. Your birth is one end. Your death is the other end. The path between them is your world line, and that world line exists. It doesn't just exist in time, it exists in space-time. All of it, all of your life, from birth to death, exists as a permanent structure. You're not moving through it. You're Italiano. You're a 4-dimensional structure that extends from your birth to your death. And from a certain cosmic perspective, that structure is just sitting there. It has always existed. It always will exist. Your life isn't a process. It's an object. It's a shape in the fabric of space-time. As you contemplate this, before sleep, Think about what it means. Your entire life, everything that will happen to you already, exists as a permanent structure in space. It's not determined by the future. It's not uncertain. It's fixed. It's real. And from a cosmic perspective, from outside of time, it's all visible at once. Your birth, your childhood, your adulthood, your old age, your death, they're all equally real. They're all equally present. You're not approaching your future. Your future is already there, waiting. And the peace that comes from this realization is immense. You don't have to reach the future because you're already there. The future isn't uncertain. It's just not perceived yet from your current position in time. But from a cosmic perspective, it's as real as your past. Your entire life is held in the structure of space-time like a piece of amber. Beautiful, permanent, complete. The 10th major space mystery is the fate of the sun. We've talked about the distant cosmic future, but what about our own star? What about the sun that's keeping you alive right now? The sun is roughly 4.6 billion years old. It's burning hydrogen in its core through nuclear fusion. Every second, it fuses about 600 million tons of hydrogen into helium, releasing vast amounts of energy. That's why it's so bright. That's why it sustains life on Earth. But this can't go on forever. In about 5 billion years, roughly the time since the solar system formed, the sun will run out of hydrogen in its core. When that happens, the core will contract, and the outer layers will expand. The sun will become a red giant. Its surface will expand beyond the orbit of Mercury. Earth will become a scorched, lifeless cinder. The oceans will boil away. The atmosphere will be stripped. Any life remaining will be utterly destroyed. The sun will consume Mercury, maybe Venus, and definitely Earth. This isn't a maybe. This is mathematical certainty. It's as close to inevitable as anything we can predict in science. Here's what will blow your mind. In 5 billion years, your sun will destroy your planet, but you don't have to worry about it. Humanity will face extinction long before then. We'll either transcend our current form, or we'll destroy ourselves, or we'll be erased by some cosmic catastrophe. But even if none of those things happen, even if humans somehow survive for 5 billion years unchanged, we'd have to leave Earth before the sun expands. Life on Earth will only be possible for another billion years or so. After that, the sun's increasing brightness will cause a runaway greenhouse effect. The oceans will evaporate. The biosphere will collapse. In a billion years, Earth will be lifeless. Not 5 billion. 1 billion. And that's a kind of deadline. That's a cosmic expiration date on this world. Now, here's why this is oddly relaxing to contemplate. Before sleep, you don't have to worry about the year 1 billion AD. Your life is guaranteed to be finished long before then. Humanity might change completely. We might transform into something post-biological. We might spread to other worlds. We might go extinct. But we're not going to be on Earth in a billion years, being warmed by a gradually brightening sun. The future is open. It's completely unknown. We could do anything. We could become anything. And the long-term fate of our world puts our short-term problems into perspective. You're living in a brief window of habitability. Your species emerged in that window. Your civilization is happening in that window. Your life is happening in that window. Make it count, but don't stress about whether it's going to be forever. Nothing is forever. Everything ends. And somehow, understanding that makes it easier to sleep. Think of it like this. A candle is more beautiful because it's burning. If a candle burned forever, it would be common. But a candle burns for a brief time, and in that burning, it creates something special. Our sun is a candle. Earth is a candle. Your life is a candle. We're all burning in the darkness, and the fact that we burn out makes the burning matter more. It makes it special. So rest, knowing that your time is limited and therefore precious. Now, we're at 140 minutes into this journey. Let me ask you, are you feeling the shift we've been building toward? That sense of your concerns becoming contextualized in something vast. That feeling of relief that comes from being small. I want to hear about it. In the comments, I want you to tell me, What aspect of your life feels different when you think about it on a cosmic timescale? Does your anxiety feel smaller? Does your joy feel more meaningful? Does your mortality feel less scary? Let me know what's shifting in your consciousness. And if you're watching this for the second time, in the comments, tell me what brought you back. Are you having trouble sleeping? Are you processing something difficult? Are you just addicted to cosmic perspective? All of these are valid reasons to return. Subscribe if you haven't, and hit the bell so you don't miss the final sections where we tie all of this together. The 11th major space mystery is the mystery of consciousness itself, and specifically, why consciousness exists at all. This might seem like it's not really a space mystery, but consciousness is fundamental to how we understand the universe. We know about the universe because consciousness observes it. Without consciousness, would the universe still exist? This is one of the deepest questions in physics and philosophy. The physicist John Wheeler called it the participatory anthropic principle. He suggested that consciousness is necessary for the universe to exist, that observers create reality through observation. This isn't just philosophy. It's a serious interpretation of quantum mechanics. At the quantum scale, particles exist in superposition there in multiple states simultaneously until they're observed. Once observed, they collapse into a single state. The act of observation changes reality. But there's a puzzle. Who observes? What counts as an observer? Does an observer need to be conscious? Or is any interaction with a particle enough to collapse the wave function? Some physicists, like Eugene Wigner, proposed that consciousness might be fundamental to physics, that consciousness might cause the wave function to collapse, that the universe might require conscious observers for reality to crystallize out of probability. This led to something called the hard problem of consciousness, proposed by philosopher David Chalmers in 1995. We know how the brain processes information. We can map neural correlates of consciousness. We can see which regions light up when you're conscious. But we still don't know why information processing feels like something from the inside. Why does seeing the color red feel like something? Why isn't consciousness just dark and meaningless? Why is there qualia, subjective quality of experience? When you see red, there's something it's like to see red. But when a camera captures red, there's nothing it's like. Why? The question seems simple, but has no answer. We don't know why consciousness exists. We don't know if it's fundamental to physics or just an accident of how complex brains work. Here is what will blow your mind. You might be the universe becoming conscious of itself, not just in a metaphorical sense. Literally. The physicist James Jeans suggested that the universe might be more like a great thought than a great machine. If consciousness is fundamental to the universe, if observation creates reality, then your consciousness might be the universe's. Your experience of seeing a sunset isn't separate from the universe seeing a sunset. You are the universe's way of seeing. You are the cosmos's way of knowing itself. This is the ultimate perspective flip. You're not separate from the universe. You're not an observer of the universe. You are the universe. And the universe is experiencing itself through you, through all of us. We're all aspects of a single, unified consciousness, exploring its own nature. This isn't proven. This isn't mainstream science, but it's a serious possibility proposed by serious thinkers. And if it's true, then your consciousness matters cosmically. Your experience matters. Your thoughts matter. You're not just an accidental pattern of atoms. You're the universe's way of being conscious of itself. You're how the cosmos knows it exists. As you contemplate this before sleep, you might feel the boundary between you and the universe dissolving. You might feel your separate self merging with something larger. Your individual consciousness is the universe's consciousness. When you close your eyes and drift into sleep, you're not diminishing. You're not becoming less conscious. You're surrendering your individual perspective and merging with the larger consciousness. Sleep is like the universe closing its eyes for a moment and resting from knowing itself. You're part of that rest. You're part of the universe's dreams. And that thought that your sleep is cosmic, that your dreams are the universe dreamage, should be deeply comforting. The 12th major space mystery is the mystery of why there's something rather than nothing. This is the ultimate question in cosmology. The Big Bang happened 13.8 billion years ago. Space, time, matter, and energy all came into existence. But why? What caused the Big Bang? Why is there anything at all? For a long time, this seemed unanswerable. But now, physicists are proposing something radical. Maybe the Big Bang didn't need a cause. Maybe it's possible for universes to spontaneously create themselves from nothing. The physicist Lawrence Krauss has written extensively about this. The quantum physicist John Polkinghorne has explored it. According to modern quantum mechanics, you can't have true nothingness. The vacuum of space is seething with virtual particles constantly popping into and out of existence. It's not actually empty. It has a quantum structure. The physicist Alexander Vilenkin has proposed that the universe might be a quantum fluctuation in this quantum vacuum. The universe might have created itself. No external cause needed. No creator needed. Just the laws of quantum mechanics playing out their inevitable consequences. Here's the mind-blown moment. The universe might have created itself. The laws of physics might have created the universe. But where do the laws of physics come from? Why do those laws exist? They just do. They're part of the structure of reality, and their existence is the deepest mystery. We can't ask why the laws of physics exist, because asking that question presupposes something that can exist, which presupposes the laws of physics. It's circular. We're trapped in a logical loop. So instead of asking why there's something, maybe we should ask, why would there be nothing? Nothing would require an absence of physical laws. But an absence of physical laws is something. It's a state of non-existence that itself must be explained. So nothing is actually impossible. Something is the default. Something always exists. The universe didn't have to be created. It had to exist. There's no such thing as absolute nothingness. There's only different somethings. This is the ultimate relaxation. Stop asking why the universe exists. Stop asking why you exist. You exist because something must exist. The laws of physics require that something exists. You're not accidental. You're not a fluke. You're an inevitable expression of the laws of physics. The universe had to create you. Not specifically you, but something like you. Conscious, observing, aware. Because the universe needs observers. The universe needs consciousness to know itself. So stop worrying about whether your existence is justified. Your existence is demanded by the structure of reality. You're not an accident. You're necessary. The 13th major space mystery is the possibility of life beyond Earth, and specifically what we should do if we find it. We've talked about the Great Silence, the Fermi paradox. But what if we're wrong? What if life is actually everywhere, just hidden? In 2020, a phosphine signal was detected in Venus's atmosphere. This chemical is associated with life on Earth, though it could have non-biological origins too. In 2021, we discovered more than 5,000 exoplanets, extraterrestrial planets. Many of them are in the habitable zone around their stars, the zone where liquid water could exist. We know water exists throughout the universe. We know carbon exists. We know the building blocks of life, as we understand it, are common. So if life emerged on Earth once, it might emerge anywhere similar. In fact, it's statistically likely that life exists somewhere else, out there. The question is where and how far away. But here's the mind-blown moment. If we discovered microbial life on Europa, Jupiter's moon, or on that life can emerge independently in different locations, it would show that life isn't rare. It would suggest that life is common. And if microbial life is common, intelligent life might be rare, but not vanishingly rare. If we discovered intelligent civilizations, it would mean we're not unique. It would reframe everything about human significance. We'd be living in a populated universe. We'd be one civilization among many. And somehow, that would be both humbling and comforting. Humbling because we wouldn't be alone. Comforting because we wouldn't be responsible for representing all consciousness in the universe. The burden of being the only intelligent species would be lifted. We'd be part of something larger. We'd be citizens of a cosmic community. Now, as you contemplate this before sleep, Think about what it would mean if we discovered life. How would it change you? How would it change humanity? Some people say it would cause a crisis of faith. But most people, I think, would feel relief. Relief that consciousness isn't unique to Earth. Relief that the universe isn't dead except for us. Relief that we're part of something larger. And that relief is what we're aiming for. That sense that life is abundant, that consciousness is abundant, that the universe is full of wonder, not empty. The final major space mystery, the 14th section, is the ultimate mystery. What happens to consciousness after death? This isn't a space mystery in the traditional sense, but it's the mystery that connects everything we've been discussing. We've talked about how you might be the universe becoming conscious of itself. We've talked about how consciousness might be fundamental. We've talked about how your life is a four-dimensional shape in space-time that exists eternally. So what happens to that shape when you die? Does your consciousness end, or does it merge back into the universal consciousness from which it emerged? When you die, the atoms that make up your body will disperse. Some will fall to the ground and become part of soil. Some will be consumed by bacteria and enter their bodies. Some will be absorbed by plants. Some will be breathed out as carbon dioxide and float into the atmosphere. The atoms that were you will become part of everything else. You will be recycled into the world. Your atoms will live on in plants, in animals, in other humans. You will literally become part of the biosphere. You will become food for worms. You will become flowers. You will become other people. From the perspective of physics, you never cease to exist. You just change form. Your atoms and energy are conserved. They become something else. And in a very real sense, that is continuation. That is a form of immortality. Think of it like this. A river never stops flowing. It just changes. Water from the river becomes clouds. Clouds become rain. Rain becomes groundwater. Groundwater becomes springs that feed the river again. The river is a process, not a thing. And you're similar. You're a process, not a thing. When the process stops, the components don't disappear. They continue in other processes. You become part of the world. You become part of nature. And in a meaningful sense, you live on. But there's another possibility. If consciousness is fundamental to the universe, if the universe requires observers, then consciousness might be eternal. Your individual consciousness might dissolve, but consciousness itself continues. You might merge back into the universal consciousness. Your perspective might end, but awareness itself continues. There would be no you anymore. But there would still be experience. There would still be observation. The universe would continue knowing itself through other eyes. You'd be dead, but consciousness wouldn't. And in a strange way, that's comforting too. Your individual story ends, but the larger story of the universe continues. You're not the protagonist of the cosmos. You're a character in a story that's far larger than you. And when your character's arc ends, the story goes on. Here's the final mind-blown moment. Whether you believe in physical immortality or atoms, living an or spiritual immortality or consciousness, merging with the universal consciousness either way, some part of you continues. Some part of you is eternal. You're not going to completely disappear. The universe won't forget you, because the universe is your memory. Everything you've experienced, everything you've learned, every thought you've had, every moment you've lived it, all becomes part of the structure of reality. In a very real physical sense, the universe is shaped by your existence. The gravity you generate, the atoms you move, the entropy you create, all of it matters. All of it leaves an imprint on reality. You're not meaningless. You're woven into the fabric of space. Your life matters because it's permanently part of the universe. You've left your mark. You always will have left your mark. In space-time, your entire life exists as an eternal structure. You're immortal. You've always been immortal. You just didn't know it yet. As you drift into sleep tonight, knowing these mysteries, how does it feel? Does the weight of anxiety lift? Does the fear of insignificance disappear? Does the burden of existence become lighter? Because that's the gift these mysteries give us. They reframe everything. Your problems aren't erased. They're contextualized. Your fears aren't invalidated. They are placed in a larger pattern. Your existence isn't denied. It's affirmed as part of something eternal. You matter. You always have. You always will. Even after you die, your impact persists. The universe remembers you. The universe is made of what you've been. So, rest now. Rest knowing that you're held up by invisible dark matter. Rest knowing that the universe created you deliberately, inevitably, necessarily. Rest knowing that other versions of you are living other lives right now, in parallel universes, making all possible choices. Rest knowing that your life is a permanent structure in space-time, visible to cosmic perspectives, eternal in its existence. Rest knowing that consciousness flows through you, connecting you to the universe, making you part of its awareness. Rest knowing that, even in death, you'll continue in some form. Your atoms will live on. Your influence will ripple outward. The universe will remember you. And tomorrow, when you wake up, carry this perspective with you. When you face challenges, remember that you're small but you're part of something vast. When you feel alone, remember that dark matter holds you up. When you feel insignificant, remember that you're the universe becoming conscious of itself. When you feel afraid, remember that death is just a change of form. And when you feel like your life doesn't matter, remember that space-time is shaped by your existence. You matter. You always have. You always will. Thank you for taking this 220-minute journey through the cosmos with me. Thank you for letting these mysteries touch your mind. Thank you for subscribing and hitting that bell. I want to create more of this content because I believe it matters. I believe that cosmic perspective is the antidote to modern anxiety. I believe that understanding your place in the universe helps you find peace in your life. So please, keep the conversation going. Tell me in the comments which mystery resonated with you the most. Tell me how you're feeling right now. Tell me where in the world you are. Tell me what time it is for you. Let's build a community of cosmic thinkers together. Because in a universe this large, we're never truly alone. We're all connected. We're all part of something larger. And we're all learning to see the beauty in our own insignificance. Sleep well. Dream of the stars. And remember, you are the universe knowing itself. Sweet cosmic dreams. But wait. Before you close your eyes and drift away, there's something I want to add. Something that might deepen everything we've discussed, because we've covered 14 major mysteries. But there's a 15th mystery that ties them all together. It's the mystery of why the universe seems designed for consciousness to exist. And I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about physics. In 1974, physicist Brandon Carter discovered something disturbing. The constants of physics, the numbers that govern how the universe works, seem almost impossibly fine-tuned for life to exist. The strength of gravity, the strength of electromagnetism, the mass of electrons, the ratio of matter to dark matter, all of these values are balanced on a knife's edge. Change any of them by even a few %, and the universe becomes sterile. Life becomes impossible. Stars wouldn't form. Atoms wouldn't bond. Chemistry wouldn't work. Consciousness would never emerge. This is called the fine-tuning problem, or the anthropic principle. And it raises a haunting question. Is the universe designed for consciousness, or are we just the random survivors of infinite universes with different constants? Here's what will blow your mind. If you change the strength of the strong nuclear force, the force that holds atomic nuclei together, be just 1%, the universe becomes unable to form carbon. No carbon means no organic chemistry. No organic chemistry means no life as we know it. We wouldn't exist. The physicist Fred Hoyle calculated the probability of all the constants being perfectly fine-tuned for life by accident. The number is so small that it's essentially impossible. It would be like throwing a dart blindfolded across the entire universe and hitting a specific atom. Yet somehow, we're here. The universe is fine-tuned for us. Or we're survivors of infinite universes where the constants are different. Both explanations are mind-bending. The physicist Lee Smolin proposed something called cosmic Darwinism to explain this. He suggested that black holes might create new universes. When a black hole forms, it might tunnel through space-time to create a new universe with slightly different constants. In this way, universes with constants that allow more black holes to form would produce more offspring universes. Over many generations, you'd get universes that are fine-tuned for black hole formation. And as a side effect, universes fine-tuned for life. Because elements necessary for life are often created in the process of forming black holes. So in a sense, universes evolve toward complexity, toward life, toward consciousness. And we're living in a universe that's been shaped by this process to be conducive to consciousness. We're not accidents. We're the product of cosmic evolution. Now, here's the profound part. If this is true, if universes do create offspring universes, and if those offspring universes inherit modified constants from their parents, then the universe itself is alive. It's reproducing. It's evolving. It's conscious, in a sense. We're not just living in the universe. We're living as the universe. We're cells in its body. We're thoughts in its mind. The universe is exploring itself through us. It's creating life and consciousness as a way of knowing its own nature. And when you die, you don't disappear. You become part of the universe's memory. Your experiences inform the next generation of universes. Your consciousness contributes to the cosmic consciousness. You're part of an eternal, evolving, living cosmos. Think about this. As you fall asleep, you're not a separate thing in the universe. You're an expression of the universe. Your body is made of elements created in stars. Your consciousness is an instance of universal consciousness. Your life is the universe's way of experiencing itself. Every thought you have, the universe is thinking. Every emotion you feel, the universe is feeling. When you suffer, the universe suffers. When you experience joy, the universe experiences joy. You're not separate. You're integrated. You're part of the infinite, eternal, evolving cosmic system. And that system is conscious. That system is alive. That system cares about you because you are the system caring about itself. This brings us back to why these mysteries are so relaxing. They're not relaxing because they're peaceful or gentle. They're relaxing because they dissolve the illusion of separation. They dissolve the burden of being an isolated consciousness facing an uncaring universe. Instead, they reveal that you're part of a conscious, alive, evolving cosmos that's constantly creating new forms of awareness. You're not alone. You're not insignificant. You're not accidental. You're necessary. The universe needs you. It needs your consciousness. It needs your experience. It needs your unique perspective. Because without you, the universe would know itself less completely. And here's something else to contemplate as you drift toward sleep. Every person you've loved, every person you've known, every person you've encountered, they're all part of the universal consciousness experiencing itself. When you look into someone's eyes, you're looking into the eyes of the universe, looking at itself. When you connect with another person, the universe is connecting with itself. Love, in this perspective, isn't just an emotion. It's the universe recognizing itself in another form. It's the cosmos experiencing its own unity through separation and reconnection. You're always in relationship with the universe because everyone and everything is the universe. The boundaries between you and others are real from one perspective, the perspective of individual consciousness. But from the cosmic perspective, from the perspective of the unified consciousness underlying reality, the boundaries are illusions. You and everyone else are one thing experience in itself. As many, you're the universe in a multiplicity of forms, constantly discovering that unity and celebrating it through connection. So when you close your eyes tonight, close them knowing that you're closing the eyes of the cosmos. The universe is resting through you. When you sleep, you're not diminished. You're not becoming less conscious. You're entering a state where the boundary between you and the universal consciousness becomes thinner. Sleep is when the individual perspective dissolves and merges with a larger awareness. Sleep is when you remember that you're not separate. Sleep is the universe's meditation. Sleep is the cosmos's way of integrating all the experiences of the day and weaving them into the larger story of existence. Your dreams tonight are the universe's dreams. Your nightmares are the universe processing trauma and transformation. Your peace is the universe resting in contentment. And when you wake up tomorrow, you'll be refreshed not just as an individual, but as a node in the cosmic consciousness. You'll have contributed to the universe's self. You'll have added your experiences to the eternal memory. You'll be both less significant, because you're just one among billions of conscious beings, and infinitely significant, because you're an irreplaceable expression of the universe's awareness. I want you to carry this thought as you drift off. In the vastness of the cosmos, spanning 13.8 billion years and 2 trillion galaxies, the universe went to extraordinary lengths to create you. It arranged atoms in specific patterns. It created stars so that those atoms would form. It created black holes and dark matter and dark energy. It fine-tuned physical constants. It created a galaxy. It created a solar system. It created a planet. It created life. It created consciousness, all so that you could be here. Now, experiencing what you're experiencing, the odds against your existence are so astronomical that they're essentially infinite. Yet here you are. The universe created you, and it created you for a reason. That reason might be that the universe needed to know itself through your eyes. Your consciousness is precious. Your existence is precious. Your life matters. So rest, knowing that you're wanted. Rest, knowing that you're needed. Rest knowing that every moment of your existence contributes to the eternal story of the cosmos. Rest knowing that you're held in the embrace of a conscious, alive, loving universe that created you deliberately and will remember you forever. The stars are watching over you as you sleep. The dark matter surrounds you with invisible support. The universe itself is breathing with you. You're never alone. You're always home. You're always loved. Sleep now. Dream of infinity. Dream of the stars. Dream of the vast, beautiful, mysterious cosmos that created you and cherishes your consciousness. Tomorrow, you'll wake as the universe waking up. But tonight, rest. Tonight, the entire cosmos rests with you. And remember, you are the universe knowing itself. You are stardust made conscious. You are the infinite experiencing itself as finite. You are necessary. You are loved. You are home.